listen to me, really listen, because what I'm about to tell you could change your life. There comes a moment when you look in the mirror and the reflection stares back empty, tired, and defeated. That moment is real. That's the moment you either rise or continue to rot in your excuses. Nobody's coming to save you. No mentor, no family, no handouts. The only thing standing between the life you have and the life you deserve is the bullshit you keep tolerating in yourself. Weakness isn't genetics. It's a choice, fed daily by the toxic habits you refuse to kill. Want to become dangerous? Want to become respected? Then stop romanticizing mediocrity. These 7 behaviors are keeping you poor, soft, depressed, and invisible. Kill them, bury them, replace them with fire. Every second you waste entertaining these behaviors, someone out there is outworking you, outgrowing you, and becoming the version of you you were too afraid to be. This world rewards strength, speed, and clarity, not your sob stories. Be relentless. Be accountable. Be the savage who stops bleeding potential and finally becomes unshakable. Excuses are poison. They are the silent killers of dreams, the invisible chains that keep men locked in cages of mediocrity, the soft whispers that convince you to stay small when you were born to be massive. Every time you say, I can't, every time you say it's not the right time, every time you open your mouth to justify why you haven't done what you know you should have done, you're drinking that poison, slowly, willingly, and it's rotting you from the inside out. Excuses don't protect you. They lie to you. They create an illusion of safety, but in reality, they dig your grave. You think you're buying yourself comfort when in fact you're selling your future? People don't realize how dangerous excuses are because they sound logical. They sound reasonable. You didn't wake up early today because you were tired. You didn't start that project because you're still researching. You didn't go to the gym because of your schedule. It all sounds valid, doesn't it? That's the trap. That's why it's deadly. Excuses sound like truth, but they're nothing but fear wearing a suit and tie. They're comfort cloaked in logic. They're weakness disguised as strategy. And the more you allow them, the more they grow. They become your default, your identity. You want to know why some men rise and others rot? It's not talent. It's not opportunity. It's not even luck. It's discipline. It's execution. It's getting up and doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Excuses feed feelings. They don't care about outcomes. They don't care about progress. They care about making you feel better in the short term while sacrificing your long-term greatness. Every excuse you make is a vote for the man you don't want to be. Every time you delay, avoid, or rationalize your inaction, you're reinforcing your own mediocrity. You're telling the world, I'm okay being average, and the world believes you. You think it's hard to grind? Try living with regret. Try knowing you could have been more. Try waking up 10 years from now in the same place with nothing to show for your life but stories of how it could have been different. If only this, if only that. That's the hell most people live in. They don't call it hell. They call it realistic. They call it normal. They dress it up and smile through it, but deep down they know. Deep down they feel it. The weight of wasted time. And all of it because of excuses. Excuses are comforting in the moment, but destructive over time. They give you short-term relief in exchange for long-term pain. And what's worse, they compound. One excuse turns into 2. One missed day turns into a week. One moment of weakness turns into a lifestyle. Before you know it, your standards are gone. Your identity is shattered. You don't even recognize the man in the mirror anymore. You see his face, but not his fire. You remember his dreams, but not his drive. Why? Because it died under the weight of 1,000 excuses. And let me be brutally clear. No one cares about your excuses. No one. You can cry about your situation. You can rant about your past. You can blame your parents, your job, the economy, whatever. But at the end of the day, the world respects results, not reasons. Life rewards the man who shows up and performs, not the man who always has a story about why he didn't. Your excuses might win you sympathy, but they will never earn you success. And if you keep chasing sympathy, you'll never taste victory because excuses don't pay. They cost. They cost you time. They cost you confidence. They cost you respect, self-respect above all. You want to stop being average? Then kill your excuses. Cut them off like cancer. The second your mind starts crafting a justification, shut it down, interrupt it, replace it. I'm tired becomes I'm alive and capable. I don't have time becomes I make time for what matters. I'll start tomorrow becomes I move now or I stay weak. You've got to rewire your mind because excuses aren't just thoughts, they're habits. And like all habits, they can be broken, but only by force, only by pressure, only by discipline. You've been lied to. You've been told to be kind to yourself, to rest more, to give yourself grace. And yes, there's a place for that, but not when you've been slacking, not when you've been hiding behind comfort. Grace without accountability is delusion. Self-care without self-discipline is self-destruction. You don't need more breaks, or you need more standards. You need to look yourself in the eye and say, I don't accept this version of me anymore. That's where it starts. That's how the poison stops. You've got one life, one shot, and the clock is always ticking. Every second you waste listening to your own excuses is a second you could be using to build something, become something, be someone. And the harsh truth is, if you don't rise up and silence those excuses now, you'll become another man who almost did something great. And there's nothing worse than that. So no more lies, no more softness, no more stories. Be ruthless with your excuses, or they'll be ruthless with your potential. Either you control your mind, or your mind controls you. Either you execute, or you decay. The choice is brutal. The truth is simple. Excuses are poison. Drink them, and you die slowly. Reject them, and you rise. Comfort kills ambition. It's the silent enemy no one talks about because it wears a smile. It doesn't punch you in the face like failure. It doesn't scream like rock bottom. It just soothes you. It wraps around you like a warm blanket and whispers, you're fine. Stay here. You've earned this. And slowly, without even noticing, your fire starts to dim. Your edge gets dull. You stop chasing. You stop pushing. You stop becoming. That's how it happens. Not with a bang, but with a slow surrender to comfort. Comfort is the reason you wake up and check your phone instead of getting out of bed and facing the war that is life. Comfort is the reason you keep telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Comfort is why you scroll for hours, live on autopilot, hang around soft people, and stay in places that don't challenge you. It feels good, right? That's the trick. Comfort always feels good in the moment, but it's a thief. It steals your hunger, your discipline, your urgency, your pain, the very things that fuel greatness. You want to know why the fire in your chest doesn't burn the way it used to? Because comfort has smothered it. When you're hungry, truly hungry, you don't need motivation. You don't wait to feel good. You move, you act, you fight like your back's against the wall. You get obsessed, but comfort kills hunger. It makes you forget what it's like to be desperate. And when you forget desperation, you lose intensity. You lose momentum. You stop going to war with yourself. That's what comfort does. It seduces you into believing you can maintain your ambition without struggle. That's a lie. You can't have both. You either stay uncomfortable and grow, or you stay comfortable and decay. People dream big but live small because they never learn to break the grip of comfort. They want the body but not the discipline. They want the business but not the grind. They want the lifestyle but not the sacrifice. Why? Because it's hard, because it hurts, because real growth requires you to bleed mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But comfort avoids pain at all costs. And so you stay soft, you stay average, you settle. The worst part? You convince yourself it's okay. You rationalize your laziness. You say things like, I'm doing my best, or at least I'm not as bad as them, or I need to take care of my mental health, when really you're just scared. You're scared to push, scared to lose, scared to be exhausted, scared to suffer. So you hide behind comfort and call it balance. But balance without progress is just stagnation with a pretty name. You weren't built to live inside a shell. You were born to struggle, to chase, to conquer. Every man is. And if you don't give yourself that struggle, life will give it to you in the form of regret. That's the trade. Comfort now or greatness later. Pick one. Because the truth is, comfort doesn't just kill ambition. It buries your entire identity. You stop being a warrior. You become a spectator in your own life, watching others build empires while you build excuses. The moment you start seeking comfort more than challenge is the moment your life begins to shrink. Your standards drop, your circle weakens, your mindset softens. You stop doing hard things. You stop taking risks. You stop becoming who you could be. That's how men die before they're dead, slowly, silently, through 1,000 tiny acts of surrender to comfort. But here's the truth. Everything you want exists outside your comfort zone. The body, the mindset, the income, the discipline, the self-respect, they're all earned in the fire. That's where men are forged. And it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to hurt. That's the point. Growth isn't born from ease. It's born from resistance. Like muscles torn under weight, like steel sharpened by friction, like warriors forged in war. You want to be more? Then stop asking for life to get easier. Demand more from yourself. Raise your bar. Seek the discomfort. Make it your fuel. Wake up early even when your body says no. Train when you're tired. Work when you don't feel like it. Talk to the girl. Launch the business. Say yes to the pressure. And when your mind screams for comfort, ignore it. Because your mind will always protect your feelings. But your destiny doesn't care about your feelings. It only rewards action. Ruthless, consistent, disciplined action. You don't get to be elite and comfortable. Those two don't coexist. Comfort is where potential goes to rot. You'll never meet a man at the top who got there by choosing the couch over the grind. Every high performer, every beast, every savage you admire, he became that way because he refused to settle for comfort. He made discomfort his default. And that's the mindset you need if you want to change your life. So stop looking for easy. Stop seeking balance. Start seeking battle. Stop asking for signs. Start becoming undeniable. Your potential is waiting, but it's on the other side of pain, not beside your pillow. Every day you make a choice, comfort or conquest. Don't be the man who traded his legacy for a little bit of peace. Be the one who chose war, who chose discipline, who chose discomfort, until greatness had no choice but to show up. You weren't born to live a soft, easy life. You were built for war, for struggle, for greatness. And if you've lost that fire, go find it. Burn the comfort, burn the lies, burn the weakness. Start over if you must, but this time, make pain your partner. Make pressure your privilege, and never ever let comfort be your king again. Because comfort might feel good today, but ambition will feed you for a lifetime. Blame is cowardice. It's the easiest path for the weakest minds. It's the shield the fragile hold up when they're too afraid to face the truth, that their life is a direct reflection of their choices, their actions, and their mindset. Blame is a drug, a comfort for the broken, an escape from responsibility. But every time you blame something outside yourself, your past, your parents, your environment, your boss, your partner, you're handing away your power like a beggar giving up bread. You're screaming to the world, I am not in control, and that right there is the moment you lose. Blame doesn't fix anything. It doesn't improve you. It doesn't teach. It just distracts you from the mirror you should be staring into. It feels good in the moment because it gives you someone or something else to point the finger at. It's not my fault. That's the anthem of the weak. That's the song of the defeated. And make no mistake, blame will seduce you because it allows you to protect your ego while your potential rots in the background. It allows you to stay the same, to stay small, to stay broken while pretending you're a victim of something beyond your control. But let's call it what it really is, cowardice. Blaming others is the ultimate act of fear. Fear of responsibility, or fear of work, fear of failure, because once you own everything, everything becomes your fault. And that's terrifying to a man who has no discipline, no standards, and no plan. But for the man who's hungry, who's relentless, who's awake, that's freedom. Because once you take full ownership of your life, there's no more waiting. There's no more whining. There's only building, growing, becoming. And that is where strength is born. Every second you spend blaming is a second you could have used building solutions. But instead, you're stuck in emotional loops, reliving the same story over and over. If they hadn't done that, I'd be better off. If life wasn't unfair, I'd be ahead. It's pathetic, and it's a trap. Because the longer you stay in that victim mindset, the more it becomes your identity. You start to wear your blame like a badge. It defines you. It excuses you. It comforts you. And before you know it, you're not even trying anymore. You're just complaining. Blame kills action. And without action, your future dies. No one respects a blamer. Not truly. People may listen, may nod, may even sympathize, but deep down, they see the weakness. They feel the cowardice. Because real men, real warriors, real leaders, they don't blame. They own. They take it all, even the parts they didn't directly cause. Why? Because when you own it, you can change it. When you blame, you're helpless. You're waiting for the world to shift in your favor. Good luck with that. Life is brutal. That's the truth. It's unfair, unpredictable, and often unforgiving. But guess what? So what? That doesn't give you a license to fold. That doesn't give you a pass to be average. Every man who's ever achieved greatness did so in spite of something, in spite of pain, in spite of trauma, in spite of injustice. They didn't blame the storm. They became the storm. They looked around and said, no one's coming to save me, so I'll save myself. When you stop blaming, you start becoming. That's the shift. That's when things start to move, because now you're finally in the driver's seat. You stop waiting for your parents to apologize, your boss to recognize you, your past to heal itself. You take the wheel. You say, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it was unfair. But now it's mine to carry, and I'll carry it like a warrior. That's power. That's maturity. That's manhood. Look around. The world is full of people stuck in cycles they could escape from if they just stop blaming and start acting. They say, I can't get in shape because I have bad genetics. Really? Or do you have bad discipline? I'm not successful because I wasn't born rich. Really? Or have you not studied, sacrificed, and executed with intensity every day? I can't trust people because I've been hurt. Really? Or are you using pain as a shield to avoid accountability in your relationships? Blame is always easier than looking in the mirror and admitting, this is on me. And here's the cold truth. No one's buying your excuses anyway. The world doesn't care why you failed. It only remembers whether you did or didn't make it. Winners don't get asked what held them back. They get asked how they overcame. Losers get sympathy but never respect. And if you'd rather be pitied than respected, you've already lost. Everything that's wrong in your life right now, your body, your finances, your mindset, your relationships, it's your responsibility. Not because you caused it all, but because you're the only one who can fix it. That's the brutal beauty of extreme ownership. It's not about guilt. It's not about shame. It's about control. The moment you stop blaming, you reclaim the ability to create, to change, to dominate. You stop being a slave to your past and become the architect of your future. So ask yourself, what are you still blaming? Who are you still holding responsible for your failure, your stagnation, your pain? And more importantly, how much longer will you let them own your destiny, rip the story apart, burn the victim script, rewrite it with blood, sweat, and accountability? Because that's what it takes. You want to rise? Then own everything. Every missed opportunity, every bad decision, every moment of laziness. Own it all. Only then can you begin to build something real. Blame is easy. Ownership is war. But it's the only war that leads to freedom. And if you're not willing to fight that war, then stay where you are. Stay stuck. Stay small. But don't lie to yourself and call it fate. Call it what it is. Cowardice. Because blame is the last refuge of the weak. And you were not born to be weak. You were born to fight. You were born to rise. And it starts when you finally stop pointing fingers and point them back at your own chest. That's where the power lives. That's where the truth begins. Procrastination is self-sabotage. It's not harmless. It's not innocent. It's not just a little delay. It's betrayal, your own betrayal of your highest self. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're stabbing your potential in the back. You're walking away from greatness, knowing exactly what needs to be done and still choosing not to do it. That's not laziness. That's destruction. That's self-inflicted failure. You're not being kind to yourself when you procrastinate. You're slowly killing your future, day by day, hour by hour, excuse by excuse. The brutal truth, you know what needs to happen. You know the task. You know the goal. You know the deadline. But instead of moving, you delay. Instead of acting, you think. You scroll. You daydream. You rationalize. You create an illusion of control by choosing when you'll eventually start, but you never do, or not in the way you should, not with intensity, not with urgency. You live in this loop of almost starting. That's the prison. That's the trap. You don't realize it's a pattern until it's too late. You've spent weeks, months, even years planning while other people with half your talent passed you by because they executed. Procrastination is cowardice hiding behind comfort. It's fear wearing the mask of, I just need more time. You don't need more time. You need more discipline, more honesty. You're not waiting for the right moment. You're avoiding discomfort. You're dodging effort. You're scared to face the resistance, scared to fail, scared to succeed and have it demand more of you. So you wait and you wait and you call it preparation. You call it perfectionism. But deep down, you know, it's fear. You're not overwhelmed by tasks. You're overwhelmed by your own lack of action. And here's what makes procrastination so deadly. It feels good in the moment. It gives you that tiny rush of relief, that sense that you've escaped pressure. Or you lie to yourself and say, I'll be more ready tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes because you never change. The mindset stays the same, and so does your output. It becomes a cycle. You put things off, feel guilt, make excuses, promise yourself you'll be better, and then repeat over and over. That loop becomes your life. And the longer you stay in it, the harder it becomes to break. You're not saving energy when you procrastinate. You're draining it. You carry the weight of unfinished business everywhere you go. It lingers. It follows you. It clutters your mind, weakens your confidence, and eats at your self-worth. You wake up already defeated because you know what you should have done yesterday. And that guilt accumulates, that shame multiplies. You start to believe you're lazy. You start to believe you're not capable. But the truth is, you're just addicted to avoidance. You've trained your brain to associate effort with pain instead of reward. That's what makes procrastination an act of self-sabotage. It's not just about missing tasks. It's about training yourself to flee from responsibility. Every time you choose delay over discipline, you're reinforcing weakness. You're hardwiring failure. And over time, you don't even need a reason to procrastinate. It becomes automatic. You start postponing things without even questioning it. It becomes who you are. And that's dangerous because now it's not just what you do, it's what you've become. The most terrifying part is this: procrastination doesn't kill your dreams instantly. It kills them quietly, slowly, silently, like rust on metal. You don't feel it until the damage is done. You think you've got time. You think next week, next month, next year, you'll get serious. But opportunities don't wait. They pass. And when they pass, you don't just lose the chance, you lose a part of yourself. A part that once believed, a part that once tried, a part that once had hope. That's what procrastination steals from you. Not just time, but belief. And when belief dies, you become a shell. So what do? You stop negotiating with your emotions. You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop letting your brain dictate the pace. You take action, ruthless, immediate action. You see the task, do it. Not later, not tomorrow, now. That's the cure. That's the weapon. You train yourself to attack discomfort. You rewire your mind to crave challenge. That's how discipline is born. Not through motivation, but through consistent action in the face of resistance. You need to understand something. Your life is not a rehearsal. This is it, right now. Every second wasted in procrastination is a second you'll never get back. And the clock doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't pause for your fear. It keeps ticking. And if you don't move with it, you get left behind. You think there's time to waste because you're young? Ask someone older how fast it goes. Ask them what they regret most. It's not failure. It's waiting. Waiting to start. Waiting to try. Waiting until it was too late. Do not be that man. Do not live a life of almost. Don't be the guy with great ideas and no execution. Don't be the one who's always about to start. That man dies with nothing, no legacy, no impact. Just unfinished plans and wasted days. Be the man who acts, who finishes, who moves. That's where freedom is. That's where pride lives. That's where greatness is built. Procrastination isn't just about putting things off. It's about putting yourself off, postponing your power, delaying your transformation. And if you keep waiting for some magical moment to feel inspired, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Action first, emotion second. That's the rule. Build momentum and the motivation will follow. Stop lying to yourself. Stop delaying your destiny. The work won't get easier. The fear won't disappear, but you can get stronger. You can become the man who doesn't run, who doesn't flinch, who finishes. Every minute you waste is one more nail in the coffin of your dreams. So get up, move, attack. Stop sabotaging the life you could have by clinging to the comfort of delay. You know what needs to be done. Now do it, like your future depends on it, because it does. Surroundings shape you more than you want to admit. You can have the strongest work ethic, the clearest goals, and the deepest hunger. But if you're surrounded by weakness, by excuses, by people who normalize mediocrity, that fire inside you will burn out. Not all at once, but slowly. Quietly, one compromise at a time, one it's okay to rest at a time, one you've done enough for today at a time, and before you even realize it, you've become one of them. Not because you chose it, but because you let it happen. You absorbed the energy around you. You caught the disease of comfort, laziness, and small-mindedness by exposure. You are the average of your environment. Not just your friends, everything. The conversations you hear, the behaviors you witness, the energy in the room, the standards the people around you accept or reject. Every single thing is either pulling you closer to who you're supposed to become or pushing you deeper into who you were never meant to be. And the dangerous part, most people don't even know it's happening. They stay in places and around people who drain them, who discourage them, who downplay ambition because it makes them uncomfortable. And instead of rising, they shrink because no one wants to be the one guy pushing forward when everyone else is standing still. But that's exactly what you have to become. Look at your circle. Look at your habits. Look at your daily life. Who are you talking to? What are you listening to? What do your surroundings demand of you? Are you in a space where growth is expected, where effort is respected, where greatness is normal? Or are you the most driven person in the room, carrying the weight of dead conversations, meaningless gossip, and small goals? If you're the hardest worker in your circle, you're in the wrong one. If no one around you is leveling up, eventually you won't either. Because humans adapt. We conform. Even the strongest minds get worn down by weak environments. You can't grow in poisoned soil. No matter how powerful the seed is, if the soil is toxic, it won't thrive. Your mindset, your ambition, your fire, it needs the right environment to flourish. An environment where people challenge each other, where discomfort is embraced, where laziness is rejected and progress is required. That's where you become unstoppable. That's where you stop making excuses and start raising your standards. Not because someone told you to, but because the energy around you demands it. People underestimate how much their environment controls them because they think willpower is enough. It's not. You can be motivated for a day. You can be disciplined for a week. But if you're constantly around people who make you feel guilty for chasing more, who mock your discipline, who laugh at your dreams, you will eventually pull back. You'll downplay your hunger to make others comfortable. And that's how potential dies. Not from lack of ability, but from lack of alignment with the right surroundings. There's a reason elite athletes train with other elite athletes. There's a reason the most successful entrepreneurs network with other high performers. Because iron sharpens iron. Greatness isn't built in solitude. It's reinforced by proximity to others who live and breathe it. You need people in your life who challenge your pace, who don't let you slack, who make you feel uncomfortable if you're not evolving. That pressure is where growth is born. Without it, you get soft. And this isn't just about people. It's about everything. Your room, your desk, your routine, your content. If your space is chaotic, your mind will be too. If your social feed is full of mindless garbage, your thoughts will reflect it. If your habits are shaped by convenience, your results will be average. Every single element of your surroundings is either building you or breaking you. Nothing is neutral. It's not easy to change your environment. Sometimes it means walking away from people you've known for years. Sometimes it means spending more time alone, rebuilding your mind in silence. Sometimes it means moving, isolating, changing everything until your life becomes fertile ground for growth. But the pain of separation is nothing compared to the pain of staying stuck. Staying around people who don't want to grow is like tying your potential to a sinking ship. You'll drown with them slowly, and they won't even notice because they've already accepted it. There are people out there who think like you, who grind like you, who want more like you. Find them, build with them, grow with them. You'll know you're in the right environment when your ambition feels normal, not excessive. When your standards feel expected, not extreme. When your goals aren't questioned, they're matched. That's when you'll thrive. That's when your evolution accelerates. But first, you need to be honest about your current surroundings. Brutally honest. Audit your circle. Audit your spaces. Audit your routines. What are you tolerating that's killing your momentum? Who are you listening to that's feeding your fears? What places are you in that require zero growth, zero hunger, zero evolution? Those are the things that need to go, not later, now. Because every day spent in the wrong environment is another day stolen from your future. You have to choose comfort or greatness. Most people will pick comfort. They'll stay in the same city, with the same friends, doing the same things, having the same shallow conversations, living the same life on repeat until the day they die. Don't be that person. Be the one who breaks the pattern. Be the one who changes everything to become something extraordinary. Be the one who refuses to be shaped by weakness. Your surroundings shape you. So choose them like your life depends on it, because it does. In the end, your surroundings are either your prison or your power. You can't keep feeding your potential in toxic soil and expect to grow. You can't keep surrounding yourself with people who settle and expect to rise. Every choice you make about where you are, who you're with, and what you expose your mind to is either sculpting the man you were meant to be or burying him. So stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you can grind your way through a weak environment. You can't. No one can. The energy around you matters. The conversations matter. The standards matter. If you want to become someone who dominates, who conquers, who lives without limits, you must build an environment that breeds ambition, pressure, and progress. Cut the anchors. Leave the rooms that drain you. Let go of the people who don't push you. This is your life, your mission, your time. Protect it with fire. Surround yourself with those who remind you of your purpose, not your excuses. Because in the war between who you are and who you're becoming, your surroundings will always decide the outcome. Make sure they're building you, not breaking you. Choose wisely or stay stuck. The choice is yours.